What is up? You're watching a hard carry. I'm an endgame player and old screw RuneScape with a daily show on YouTube and some weekday streams on Twitch. If you're interested in getting better at the game, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and pot with me. We are doing a standard hard mode top learner raid here, joined by Venusile on the North Freeze roll, Potent on the range roll, Caclia on the melee roll, going for their first hard mode top KC, and my domain on the melee roll as well. Let's go ahead and introduce Maiden for us for a little bit here. Hot Local Moms is ready to pot. For Maiden, step away if you've been hit twice in a row and give aggro to someone else. If you get hit 3 times or more, you're going to take big damage. If you're freezing, you want to lock in those tomatoes, so long as it does not make you late for the crabs. Always want to be able to freeze those crabs in the very first tick. Speaking of those crabs, unlike normal top, you want to be killing them all the way dead, because if they go in, she's going to attack faster, which will make them really hard. And for 30s, you want to stay on boss. Freezer will freeze their crabs, then get on boss. We'll use damage specs to close it out before those crabs reach her. For the North Freeze roll, that's Venusile, you're going to freeze North 1, then North 2, then South 3, then all the 4s. We freeze South 3 to catch everything in the clump. Once you're done freezing all your crabs, you're going to freeze the tomatoes that are rolling around. Then you're going to help with any North 1, North 2s that are still alive, kill them dead. Once those are dead, you can help with the clump till it's dead. Once the clump's dead, make sure you get back on boss till the next set of crabs spawn. For the range DPS, that would be Potent this raid. You're going to kill South 1 till it's dead, stand 5 tiles from the clump, throw chins at it till it's dead. Make sure your chins are medium fuse, and then get back on boss. For the melee rolls, it's Caclia and my domain. You're going to kill North 1 till it's dead, kill North 2 till it's dead, then get back on boss. Any questions, ask away. Remember, for the melee rolls, that you need to be flinching and swapping tank out every few autos as well. Go ahead and say R in game if you're ready to pot. Otherwise, ask any questions if you have any. Arg. My domain said arg. If you say R in game, we'll hear a nice ding noise. I like the ding noise. It's super satisfying. Oh, I love it. Ding noise. As party ready, check if you don't have the plugin, by the way. It's such a cool plugin. I'll add arg, like the pirate noise. Arg, whatever you said, to the list of allowed terms for it. So that it pops up. Where is my party ready check plugin? Arg. Haven't heard that one in a while. Let's go ahead and drop the salve and nothing else. If you do want to pot with these guys, I encourage Caclius to go on for their first KC. If you redeem an R in the Twitch chat here, you will pop up in the bottom left and be forever commemorating their first attempts towards hard mode tab. Spam click to go in. Make sure you hammer them all in the first tick. Otherwise, if you don't have hammer them all, you'll use a BGS shortly after your first melee hit. Only do one. In we go. Zero defense. We knew that was going to spawn a tomato because you threw blood, and hard mode top after the first blood. Mage Ground Auguring, get ready to freeze. After the first blood throw, it always spawns a tomato. Kill your crabs. I actually bumped my mic there. Hopefully it didn't make like a lot of noise. Nice shot catching the tomato, back on the clump for a little bit till it's dead. Bonus points if you specifically target the center clump, so it hits all the crabs in the clump. Mage Ground, Augurim, we're ready to freeze. North Freeze is on time, so I'm going to be on tomato duty. A small detail is I've chosen to walk up to the boss and take some of the pressure off the DPS rolls by tanking a few autos. This functionally is the same as making them flinch so that they don't get 3 times in a row. Find a safe place to stand for the rest of the kill. DPS or stay on boss the whole time. Don't let the tomatoes kill you. I'll catch 4s, North Freeze, make your way in after 3s. Get your claw specs off. Everyone should be getting their claw specs off. If you have a Chala, you can use it right as the crabs are about to leak if we don't end up killing her. Oh, very nice maiden. No, not too much right home about. A couple bloods spawning. Just make sure we're trying to pre-move to dodge the bloods. Eat your angler, grab your salve, into the next room. In we go. I'm going to be quick between rooms. We are measured on total time if we want to get kits, just like we did last raid. Love seeing those. Into bloat. If you ever want to do these pre-fires, do them in normal tub. Make sure you only do one in hard mode. You can turn after 16 ticks and you get flied a bunch, just like that. That's why we only do one in hard mode. 1, 2, 3, hit. A little 23 damage bonus. Down. Front side looks close to rounding a corner. Make sure you're watching your feet as you transition, as you move, as you swing. Hands fall the whole time. Last hit, do not tank the stomp. Leave early. Remember, always going to walk on the walls, run around the corners intentionally. Don't stand on a corner, otherwise, if you get hit by a hand, it can get quite rough. Back he turned. Walking along the wall, running around the corner. I do recommend using your left hand for the camera movement here. It does make it easier to see around the corner and not have inaccurate clicks if you're trying to move the camera and click to move at the same time. Down. Don't force the 2 down. Do not force the 2 down. Last hit. There's a very good chance we could have gotten the 2 down if we forced it, but it's not worth the risk, especially while we're learning. Unless we're like super consistently clearing Verzik and there's no stress on supplies at all, then we don't want to be chancing things like that, because if you die at bloat, people will joke that bloat deaths don't count. They may not count in spirit, but they definitely count when you look at the supply chest of hard mode top. We walk on the walls, run around the corners. He's down. Watch your feet as you go in. Your pot ran out, make sure you repot to get the value from the room replenishing your health. Melee amulet on, drop yourself each one of your anglers, grab a shark from the chest, do not clog your inventory, do not buy a stam unless you're below 60 agility. If you're below 60 agility, you can buy a stam, sip it, and drop it. Also, if you're below 60 agility, that's a rare sight in hard mode top. Most people happen to have higher agility. I think everyone, there's a lot of people have 99 here. Man, you got higher agility than me. I only have 90. I'll take all the pre-fires from Mage Roll. Venus, you're going to help out whatever makes it into the room, or whatever roll's falling behind. You're going to help out whatever pillar gets the lowest, keep them balanced. Potent, you're going to be ranging the whole time. Your Q to throw chains is when the big ranger gets to around here on wave 9. Then you're going to throw chains at all 3 lanes to clear them out. Calculate, you're going to be mailing on the left side of the room. If you run out of melee, you can help with whatever other roll there is. My domain, you're mailing on the right side of the room this time. Spam click to go in. Make sure we're potted for our respective styles, including melee, because will be mailing Siphon and Chally, the demi-boss, when it spawns on wave 10 and 20. We will ignore the last demi-boss. Beauty. Inside you are 2 wolves. Melee gear on, Scythe and Chally. Seems like Nightbot did not like whatever message you posted. I may have the perms for Nightbot set quite aggressively for links. I have no idea what you sent. I'm sure it was thoughtful and not an issue at all. No way you circumvented the Nightbot. You just found a way to send a message that didn't get caught. How did you manage that? Wait a minute, don't explain that. 18 West is an important pre-fire, and always tap it. Siphon and Chally. Nothing's dying. I'm not hearted. I bet I could hit that 24 as well. I haven't been paying incredibly much attention to what the IX allowed me to do. Skip this one. Pillars are really healthy. I was very encouraged to actually call for us to hit it because of how healthy the pillars are, but I don't encourage it until after you've gotten like a couple KC under your belt, because you never know what could happen here. Try to kill big Nylos first here. Big Nylos and new Nylos first. That way we can get their splits out. Pillars are incredibly healthy for a learner raid. This might be the healthiest I think I've ever seen the pillars in a 5-man hard mode top learner raid. Holy, these pillars. You guys are cracked. These Nylos were great. Just go ahead and show you're going to stand. One guy here, one guy here, one guy here. Ranger here. If you're below 85 HP, you want to group up on the Ranger right now to get the pot share. If you have the BGS, you're going to lead with the BGS. Everyone else, you can use your damage specs right away. Melee gear on. Other spots taken, Venusile. We're not two piling this raid, unfortunately. Oh. That was silly. No, group up for mage, be quick on the movement. Spread out for range, group up for mage. In for mage. Awesome, good movement. In for mage. Out for range. React if it's mage. In for mage. Where are those clicks? Those clicks are sloppy. Very nice Nylos. I think that was like legendary status Nylos. We like those. In terms of speed, we could speed up this room since the pillars are so healthy by hitting the last 3 boss. Remind me at the end of the raid, and I will talk about it in a little more detail. For this room, I'll be 1-2, Venusile 1-3, Potent. You're gonna be 2-3, Caclea, Phil, my domain backup. Go ahead and stand where you were a previous raid. Caclea, find the open spot. I only do this because if people have a spot from a previous raid. People have a spot from the previous raid, it's where they're used to going, and that's how you end up with people accidentally taking yellows. Step away, recover, Caclea. You'll be alright. It'll be a bit awkward when you're finding your spot. Hopefully the mall's hit. We'd love to see it. Does he sound different to anyone else? Does he? Right 2. Bottom of ore board on the inside is Mr. My Dope Man. You're going to wait on the 3rd row. Whoever's on the outside, wait on the 3rd row till it's no longer red. You're part of the maze once you're connected to it. Take 1 step north of the very end segment of your maze. Out we go. Do you like a Canadian or do you not like it? What do you think? You can't hear the Discord people. They're not talking. I got the east ball. Everyone else in the center. Whoever's the west ball's in the west. Oh, I should have ordered those statements in a different order. I realized that might have caused a problem now. Anyway, any further sets of balls, we'll be ticketing them. Left. Don't pre-move, because you'll end up guessing wrong most of the time. The maze sometimes goes left to right. Ew, Canada. It's just I think there might be some clench. Maybe I just disconnected from Discord entirely. You never know. Cosmics, if you have
I've been locked in.
Deadlocked in. Don't get your claw specs off. Caclea, use your damage specs as well. Try to get all the damage out. Send it. This is the MVP moment for the people who are Phil when all the malls hit. Just steal the MVP from it.
Give me that.
That's how you get the kits. No, I'm kidding. It's just for Zarp. Don't go into the room right away. Make sure you equip your what do you call it? The offhand weapons and whatnot first. Always want to do that first because it gives you an extra inventory space. Grab your stam first. Nobody can buy that for you. If you see any partial things on the ground, you can decant them, drop them at the chest, not on the way to the chest to make room. You're going to grab resources. You have three things that restore prayer in your backpack. Then you're going to grab brews. If you have extra points, you can buy and drop brews for your teammates. If you have extra points, you can buy and drop sharks. Holy, this is a very healthy raid. We have a buffet on the ground. Look at this. This is the screenshot for this raid. They call it the 1KC buffet right here. Someone write that down for someone write that down for the video title in the chat. 1KC buffet question mark. That's wild. Anyway, shop quickly, make your way into the next room, make sure you grab your stam. Whatever quadrant you were at, so does your home for the rest of the raid. So make sure it was enter from the center, go straight through. If a second one spawns in your quadrant, I will hold it until you can take over. Potent, that's yours. After you've done your exhumes, you want to centralize in your quadrant so you can reach any exhumed in one tick. That's your calculate. If it's on the line, you just have to fight for it. If someone's already standing on one, then the new one will be yours. This is yours. Take over when you can. Lovely. Good movement. Look at this positioning. The Zarpus is so clean. Everyone's like optimizing their positioning and everything. It's like there's a certain elegance to Zarpus when it's done really well. And it just like feels really satisfying when like you have like the perfect teamwork. Like look at that. Doesn't that feel good? Like it's like the best feeling. It's like no exhumes leak. It's just like damn. Molon. If you have BGS, you're gonna do Scythe BGS. Make sure you're potted. If you have to re-BGS, you have to re-BGS. Otherwise, claw. This is fine. You can claw. Ooh, max claw. The second max claw I've had this stream. Love when that happens. If you're learning your 5-tick Zarpus, just listen for the spit noise when you click the outside ring. Spit, attack. That's all you gotta know. Spit, attack. When you have a late scythe swing, you scythe right as you click to go back. That's when you do a 5-tick next. When you do a 5-tick, you just line up and you attack when you would normally step back. Alright, we have a late swing here. So I position for the 5-tick and I attack when I would normally step back. Line up again, hear the spit noise, out attack. Out attack. Out attack. Here's a late swing. Out attack in a position. Attack when we normally step back. Beautiful. Stay in your quadrant, swing when he looks away, then hands off the mouse for the rest of the kill. Beautiful.
I forgot my claw earlier. Rip.
Because the next scythe is 2 ticks after you, or there's like a scythe that's 2 ticks, but at least 2 ticks apart from when your scythe is, you're able to do the claw.
Like, just after my scythe, like on cooldown? I'm
Yeah,
scared.
so like look at Venus out. Like you see how he's a couple ticks apart from you? That means the claw is safe. You just have to find that. It's annoying to look for, which is why I recommend not holding it. But if you end up in that situation, that's what you're looking for. Someone who's attacking at least 2 ticks away from you, because 5 ticks, a 4-tick attack is only a 1-tick difference from a 5-tick attack, right? So if you're someone 2 ticks apart from you, they must be swinging on a tick that makes it safe for you to claw.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, you could technically 5-tick your claws if you don't feel like trusting yourself.
Gotcha.
Can you post a pic of a good thumbnail? We'll give Canadian the risky permissions for one time. We're going to be transferring the staff west to east. Make sure we're spreading our supplies out. Looks like we have a couple stacks. Don't go back and do it now. Just in the future. But starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, I'll pick it up. Spec twice. You're going to drop it the west pillar for potent. Cackling can pick up at the east pillar. Speckle heading west. Goatman pick up at the west pillar. Speckle heading east. Venus Iron, pick up with the west pillar. Spec immediately. No safe ticks. Should be dead here. Range per on, piety on. In the middle of the room, sip your sand few. If you're below 85 HP, you could sip brew up if you need to. Make sure you're fully potted. Make sure everyone's got that 118 stat, swinging hard. I got it. Back on boss. Quick reactions there will help make crabs go smooth. Don't main if it's your purple. It's if it spawns on me.
Oh, I thought you said you got it. You're talking about crab.
Ah, I meant the blue crab. Yeah. Brew up and move, Caclea. Do not attack to above 85 HP. Get yourself recovered. If you can keep the rhythm going while you do it, that's a very bold move for 0 KC. But it's also incredibly risky, so just make sure you're okay with it. Your 4 tiles are actually one set north right there. An R from Abigail. How are you doing, Abigail? We have a 0 KC here, Caclea going for their first hard move. 2 people in this raid had their first KC earlier today. I got it. Unfortunately, it's lethal until my attack lands. Off boss, Mage Prayer. Beauty. Make sure everyone's fully potted. Nobody's swinging a limp scythe, right? We're all swinging hard. Beautiful. When the crab expires, we'll do a little chip damage, Venus. Just a heads up. Just keep an eye on that. It's like a 21 because it had a decent amount of health left. It's if you're ever like low on supplies, it can be worth taking the extra effort to like manually path and avoid it. Maybe one more big swing here. Beauty. Clean tanking is going to be carries P3. Make sure you tank, try to cause any melees if you can. The spit, 2, 3, 4 click under, 5 click attack. 1 tick early on the step under. 2, nice venge. Make sure you're avenging. We've had very nice crabs P2. I'm feeling we're going to have a rough crabs here. Be ready to hit them? We cleared quite a few crabs. They're positioned towards webs. On the side of the closest webs. We make webs here. That pre-movement being ready for webs ASAP is super nice. Make sure you stam up. Don't run out of run energy. Stam up, stam up, stam up. Make sure you're super combating as well. Everyone should be 118. Swinging hard. We're going to have proc west here probably. If you know it, claw north, run to the corner, run through attack. Claw north, run to the corner, run through attack. Nice try. It's called Pog Tank out of web. Is a great thing to learn as you expand into hard mode more. It's a very common tactic people use in LFR to increase the chance of a clear. Make sure you're avenging. Wherever you were during P2 is where you go for yellows. Grab your yellows. Grab your yellows. We survived them. Make way back to Verzik. Make sure you get your claw specs off. I see people sitting on a 60 spec. Make sure super combat potted as well. My don't make pot up. Kill before the ball lands. Before the ball lands on a first KC. Caclea Gaming today. Is that a deathless in time first KC PB?
A minute and a half earlier.
Okay. And a purple to boot. Would you look at that?
Okay.
The dream.
Size for the boys? Sure.
The 1 KC dream. What do we get here?
Justy face card.
That's a kappa right there. That's we need a kappa in the chat if we think any kappas in the chat for the Justy face card. I think that's a kappa moment. No, not the Justy. We do take pictures. We do take pictures of the of the first KCs here. Go ahead and line up. Our wonderful star of the show tonight will be Caclea getting their first KC. Stand in the middle here. Pick your favorite emote. Smile for the camera. I'm feeling I'm feeling a little bit brave today. I think we're gonna take it. Get out of here, Rick Turpentine. We're gonna take it off and we're gonna reach up for the panic. We're gonna start twerking. So let's go. Definitely a different vibe from Cacklea just waving. Good contrast. Starts waving. Oh, I got a bunch of leaning and me just twerking on there. I guess we'll take a screenshot of this. Um, what a beautiful moment. That would be hard mode top completers from GZ for Cacklea here. First KC, HMT, in time, deathless as well. And we'll post a picture. We'll go ahead and take a picture of the board as well so you can remember who you went with today. You went with 1 KC, 3 KC, 3 KC, 6 KC, and 1,191 KC. Very clean raid, by the way, you guys. Fantastic stuff. I always love seeing groups that come in, get their first KC, maybe are feeling a little nervous in that first KC, and then they just they see the improvement raid after raid after raid. And this raid was very smooth. How much did it shave the PB off by you guys? It was probably like over a minute.
Like a minute and a half, minute 40, I think.
Minute and a half.
Minute 40, minute 50.
Yeah, the basics are being executed better and better each raid, and I think the reps definitely help too. So let's do a little recap. This raid was a lot smoother, but I always do like doing a little recap. I always also like asking, I know if you don't feel comfortable coming on mic, Cacklea, if you would like just write a little bit about what you thought of your first attempt at hard mode. Do you have any questions about it? Sandwich lady, any baguettes? Hold up.
Yeah,
Pause.
surely.
Pause. Do we top it off with a baguette? Pause. No, I don't see the baguette kebab. Oh, unlucky. We always pause chant for the baguette chance. I'll do a quick recap of the raid. Maiden a lot better. We had very few blood stepped in. Meleers did a good job rotating out damage. It looked like I didn't see people getting chanced or anything like that. The freezes were done well. There's not much to write home about. It's just a decent maiden. For bloat, nobody died at bloat. Another great room. It's a deathless raid all the way across the board, which is always a nice thing to see in a learner raid. But the positioning at bloat, the spacing, the time we leave bloat, I do want to bring up something about bloat specifically. And I said, hey, let's not go for this. If you are confident in your ability to complete raids, by this point you've seen a Verza completed deathless, a whole raid deathless. If you're finding that's the kind of quality of raids you're in, and you want to push yourself a little bit harder, you can go for aggressive plays like that the last 6% at bloat, taking one more swing, maybe ticketing the stomp, and then trusting the damage happens. On the event that you all trade kill bloat, you kill bloat, but bloat also kills you and your points are in the bin. That's what the new battle you'll have to fight if you choose to go faster and play that more aggressive line. It could also mean that you might feel more confident going for something like a flinch hit on bloat. I did demo one of those, one of the earlier raids we had, because everything lined up. It was a clean opportunity to go for a flinch, good positioning, good hands falling timing, the works. Everything was in the right, the stars aligned, right? So I went for it because it was a really low risk play. But you'll find the only way you can learn how to do those more advanced stuff is by actually playing for it, actually attempting it. So I do encourage you to go for it when you feel ready to. For Nilo's, great execution on the Nilo boss. Everyone was moving cleanly. Waves were probably the highest HP pillars I think I've ever seen in a learner raid. Those were all 60% plus or something at the end of a 5-man hard mode top learner raid. There are experienced teams that don't have that much health on the pillars left at the end. But this for good reason. And one of the reasons why is how we deal with that, the third demi boss. And what I mentioned during the race, I'd bring it up afterwards. For the demi boss, if the pillars are in such a good state that we can afford the luxury of hitting the boss instead of cleaning the things off the pillars, then we should hit it, because it's always guaranteed a melee phase, and our DPS on melee phase is really high quality. So in that case, you can choose to forgo a little bit of Nilos in the room and hit the boss instead. And the way that I like to do it, as I assess room state, if my roll is super far behind, imagine I'm range roll and there's tons of range in the room, I'll forgo hitting it even if the pillars are healthy, just so that our cleanup is well balanced, because the other rolls would have to do off-roll things to help me clear ranges up. Likewise, if I'm on a mage roll and it's the room's flooded with mage, I'll communicate with my other mage or say, hey, I'm going to hit mages, you hit boss. We'll balance our clear out. That's a way you can play more aggressively to speed up your Nilo waves a little bit. That way we don't end up in a case where like all the Nilos in the room are dead and the boss is like 65, 70% HP and you have to like grind the boss through like 3 or 4 phases to get it killed. It's kind of like leaving like one Nilo alive munching the pillar for like 20 seconds. It's the same idea. You want to balance clearing the room and the Nilo boss if you're in such a healthy room state. That'll make your room go faster. We'll introduce 2 pile if we end up running more, but we have shown that before on a few runs, so do check those out. I think the last video will have one in it. Or is it 2 video? I think it's last video. For what was I gonna say? For Soat. Soat went smooth. Make sure you get your prayers correct. We had a little bit of a cluster trying to figure out where we're going. If you're ever joining a team like in an LFR setting like this, in your case, Caclea, you'll notice one thing I commented that I don't normally say. Normally, I just say if you get there first, it's your spot. If you ever have been in a session or you're joining a session where the rest of the people have been running for a little while, it's a good idea to figure out what the empty spot is instead and just fill that. The reason why is those people are going to be used to it. And if they're not super mentally active during yellows, for instance, they might go to their quote unquote usual spot. And that can be a great way to wipe a raid. And it's tragic timing to wipe it. For Sotho, that's like the only small detail I have for this raid. The mazes were executed well. Good pacing on the maze, good exiting on the maze, good filling on the maze. The only thing I think would be improved a little bit is the fills using their specs more promptly after the 3rd set of hammers had hit. We had really good hammer RNG. Every hammer hit. So that's something to pay attention to. I think a couple of those specs didn't actually end up happening. They were sitting at 50 spec at the end of the room. For Zarpus, a similar note about the specs. We got it down to 2 defense. I think someone Northwest didn't have their chance to use their spec because they weren't sure if they could use it safely during the 3rd phase, which is a fair concern to have. We talked about how to identify if there's another person at least 2 ticks away from your attack. You can always get the claw off safely because they will replace your. They will do an attack to pull aggro from Zarpus before you swing again. For Zarpus, otherwise, it was good stuff. We got him down to low defense. Versus P1 was executed really smooth. We didn't lose our staff. We kept it together. We kept hitting hard. Good stuff. P2, there was a small note about the placement of the acid. If Verzik is here, the acid should be right here for a calculator if you're facing northeast. If you end up using these middle tiles, some people will actually do a more advanced method where they group up for the blue ball, and they'll use one of those 2 tiles and they'll attack Verzik to not bounce the blue ball. There's a reference to this in the WDR Harmutab guide in the advanced tips section near the end. If you're curious about that, feel free to take a peek. I only suggest it because I think this team's probably ready to add something like that to their repertoire. For P2 going into reds, be very careful not to swing on the boss. As it goes below 35% HP. If it goes below 35% HP and you swing and you heal it a bunch, it will make a red space take a lot longer. Have to undo a scythe swing, which means it's like actually like 2 extra scythe swings to get back to where we were. That could mean waiting an entire extra phase for reds. We don't want that. For P3, tanking quality was decent overall. The one thing I would recommend for this team is actually taking the time to learn Pog Tank out of webs. It's a very valuable tool, especially if everyone has the amount of gear that we have here. We got like Torva and Oath Plate and Arania Boots and Avernic Treads Max. Like everyone's cooking with their gear. A lot of damage here. So you're often going to find that NATO's proc while you're running the first set of webs. If you can execute Pog Tank out of webs, which is not a very difficult thing to pick up, we do have a little video for it in the Twitch chat here, !learn Pog. There's a little bit of a variation that you can show. There's either the scythe variation or the claw variation north, whatever you prefer. And it also covers the case when the NATO spawn north. If the NATO spawn before the north proc, it's the traditional variation that you'll see most people know and do. They'll claw north and run to the corner, run through and attack. But there's other ways you can do it if you don't have spec that the video covers. I recommend looking at it just to familiarize yourself with the movement and try to attempt it your next raid. If you do end up in that situation again where you have the NATO spawn during webs, it'll give you so much damage and reduce the chance of a melee dramatically, make your raid go a lot smoother. For yellows, I don't think there was much wrong with yellows, and we killed her before the green ball even landed, so that I can't really say anything about the green ball either. Let's go ahead and whoa, a lot of stuff I yapped about there. Hopefully I haven't taken the wind out of your sails or anything, but I try to call out these things, especially when a raid goes well, to help give you insights on how the raid could go even better, and like what are the details that still need polish, because it's for a lot of people, the bar is just getting to a point where they can clear the raid. But if you want to get to the point where you're like carrying the raid and having like more efficient raids, cleaner raids, and like being able to compensate for when teammates make mistakes better, having those extra little details cleaned up and polished will make it so like some mistakes won't wipe the team. They might just slow down the raid a little bit, and you'll be able to recover and still cleanly complete raids. The supplies at the Soul Chest were hilarious. It was just a buffet. Any questions from you guys? Or anything you want me to clarify maybe that I spewed out there in the last minute, 2 minutes?
I think we're all good.
Hell yeah. No from Potent, just shaking the head. I love it. No. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll wrap it up for YouTube then. If anyone in YouTube has questions or comments, I'm always happy to answer them in the description. Always do leave them. I love seeing them. Shout out to all you tobbers who liked the video. I like you. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. For all of you taking on the theater, good luck in your raids. We'll catch you in the next one.